what's up, everybody? Welcome to a special edition of For the Culture Live podcast. Today, we welcome back our own Ty Sterling, a.k.a. Comedy Bones.
Yo, what's going on, everybody?
And this is near and dear to me because I got some of my homies from my Knicks group text. We all Knicks fandom out here in L.A. You know, there's not that many of us, but the ones that are, we stick together. So we're here to recap draft lottery, talk Knicks basketball, talk NBA, and catch up with Tony. So to my right here is Chris.
Yep.
And all the way to my far left is Sean.
What's up, everybody?
Very, very formal, guys. Thank you. Thank you for joining us, man. Thank you for joining us. Tony, what's up with you, boy?
Hey, man, not much. I did my first show in Miami at the Miami Improv.
Okay. Humble brag. Let's give it up for that.
Yeah, it was real good. Like, people liked me. I told you I met that comedian Ocean.
Yes.
He gave me his number and stuff like that, so I linked with him. And then I got a show next week, Friday.
Where at?
It's a spot in downtown. I don't know the name of the place, but they just gave me the address.
Okay, well, he got the address, y'all. And that means it's confirmed. There's a show. You just don't know where yet. Maybe we'll have the information for you next week.
No, I have the information.
Okay.
I just don't know the name of the venue.
It's all good. But you booked.
Yes.
You're booked and blessed?
Yes, man.
Booked and blessed? Okay. All right. So how many shows did you do when you was in Miami? Did you do just the improv? Or?
I did the improv, and I did like a bunch of like other like small shows, but that's about it. Nothing big.
That's fine.
The improv was probably the biggest thing.
How you like the scene in Miami?
It was good. The crowds are really easy. You know what I mean? It's not a tough crowd at all.
Did you do any hoods in Miami?
Nah, I think that's what it is. I ain't go to no hood spots yet.
There's some hoods in Miami. Not to say that the crowds in Miami are like rough, but like because they just reopened the Miami Improv.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the weeknights are. Did he get his night back or whatever?
No, not yet.
So back in the days, right? Benji Brown used to have a Tuesday nights in Miami. He was a local Miami comic, and he was also on the radio. Mm-hmm. And he used to have Tuesday nights, and like the show would start like 9:30, 10 o'clock. And Benji, he used to have all the hood niggas, like all the grill, gold teeth, the dreads, the Opalaka, Dade County, Trick Daddy's cousins. All of them niggas used to be up in there. And Benji Brown so they show would start 9:30, 10 o'clock. Benji Brown would do like 30 minutes up top to bring up a comic. Do like another 15 minutes when he could all be having music cues and shit. Then have another comic come on. Maybe that's the feature act. He does 15, 20. Then Benji go up and do another 20 minutes. Then bring on the headliner. So you'd have to be going up like at 11:30. And with a dude's been cats that's been balling strippers, that's been drinking all fucking night, and that was like one of the roughest nights in a comedy club. And then there's obviously the local scene, so there's like hood rooms around there. But I remember doing the Miami Improv, and like if you killed, oh man, you could probably get some pussy like right after the show. Like the crowds are so loving. Like girls are just like excited by somebody on stage. I have friends my New York friends who used to come down and do the South Florida run. They said that you could still like be okay or even do bad on the show and still get some pussy from the show.
That's
like,
crazy.
Like girls will still hang out with you. Like it's just different in Miami. But like I remember that being the staple of like one of the roughest rooms. In Miami, but now that it's reopened, I don't know how they have their weeknights compared to their weekend headliners who they bring in. So, but that's cool that you got to do the Miami scene. It's it's different from LA, right? What do you notice? Anything that's like that you liked about both or similar?
Nothing that I could think like off the top of my head.
Okay. Okay.
Well, maybe I need to do more.
Yeah. What else you got going on out there?
It was my mother's birthday, my brother's birthday, my father's birthday. Their birthdays are right next to each other.
All right, good timing.
Yeah, so I got to do that, and then Mother's Day, of course. So that was good. And then just
Chris, Sean, how'd you guys do Mother's Day?
How do we do?
Yeah. Like.
I mean, we just spent time.
Your mom's out here?
Yeah. The whole family's out here. So I grew up in Burbank in LA.
Got you.
Even though I'm a Knicks fan, it's a long story, but
we'll get to that. We'll get
to that later. But yeah, it was a great Mother's Day.
Great Mother's Day, Chris. How about you, man?
Regular day. My mom's passed a long time
Okay,
ago, so.
All right. My condolences, though. But do you do anything like in her memory, like you play music, like or anything? You just kind of like.
Nah, I contemplated the IG post, but it just seems fake, right? Like, not to say it is.
Chris a thoroughhead, man. He ain't with that fake shit.
Nah, not to say that love for your mother is fake, but like, people who just, don't talk about their mother 364 days a year.
For sure.
And then post it on the gram.
Yeah.
Like,
I lucked up because I was in New York 2 weeks ago, and I was there the week before Mother's Day, so like I got to spend some time with them, and then I'd be like loving to do some sort of video with them, and that always helps me because it's like now I have some more stuff to look at, and then I share it too with Instagram and on my social media, and I always get like a kick out of them because now when I go back and visit them, it's just like, it's just I had a really short trip, so I really like valued just the time, a couple hours I got because I was doing shows and running around, so like that was fun.
Nick's mom and grandmother is like they're both like walking highlights. Like if you record, anytime you record them, they'll
give me something
good footage.
They'll give me some good coverage. All right, man, let's get into the shits. Fucking draft lottery happened this week. Niggas ain't getting Zion. The Knicks or the Lakers ain't getting Zion.
I knew that was gonna happen. I knew the Lakers weren't gonna get shit. So.
I'm not gonna lie. When y'all got into the top 4, though, you had to start thinking like, oh shit.
Yeah.
For at least 30 seconds to a minute, you had some hope.
Yeah, I did.
I know we had all exactly. I was getting excited. My nipples was getting hard. When Cleveland got the 5th pick, I was like, yeah, fuck them. They ain't gonna get another generational talent. You know what I'm saying? We was at Chris's at crib watching the draft lottery go down, so it was just like for like a small window, we were like, there's a chance we might get something. Yeah. But Sean was cool and calm and collected. Sean was like, I'm not gonna pressure this. Chris was kind of like, he don't think that pick was staying anyway. He felt like they're gonna make a trade. So I was, I'm still young. I'm young, so I'm just like, I was hopeful we could.
But you like RJ, no?
I would like RJ. I have to like RJ.
But you would rather have Zion, of course.
I would rather have Zion. Give me the guy who would just make the Garden so fucking live, like slam dunks, crazy blocks, flexing.
The Garden's already live, though.
The Garden can get live, but Zion, we could be getting blown out by 20, but Zion would make it live the whole game.
Yeah.
We're going to get blown up by 20. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry, give me the wins. I'm sorry, give me something to root for. It's been too long, man. Like, I don't need the hype.
I feel you.
Man, he's going to New Orleans.
I want the hype, though. He's going to go to New Orleans. And, look, I don't think it'll be a bad situation if AD. I think AD's going to be gone. But the guy who's running the Pelicans, he ran Cleveland, and I think he put together a good team around LeBron that second window. I mean, they helped get him a chip, so I think he'll do a good job around Zion. How you feel about the Lakers getting the 4th pick? Like, do you think it helps you guys make a trade? Like, how do you feel about the state of the Lakers right now?
Yeah, the state of the Lakers. I cry every night.
Jadakiss laugh.
Yeah, they hurt me this season.
Vogel tears.
You know what's crazy though? What's the one thing that I always told you in high school? I used to tell Nick. I said, "Yo, the Knicks fucking suck, Nick. I don't even know how you're a Knicks fan." He was like, "Oh, they're riddled with injuries, blah blah blah." And I always used to tell him, "Yo, that's an excuse, Nick.
Yeah,
that's an excuse." Now look, the whole fucking team is hurt, and I'm ending up using the same fucking excuse.
Like, guys can't win if guys ain't on the court, man.
Yeah,
if certain important players aren't there, like. I don't know. Which season could I think of a Knicks season where I'm like, injuries really took us out of a chance of being good? I would say, that 13 season where we hurt, that we were just old, right? Everybody was just old outside of Melo.
Yeah, Bargnani, I think, was the problem with that season.
God.
I think it was like moving Carmelo Anthony out of the 4 spot.
The following year with Woodson, right? In 13-14?
Yeah, after we won the Atlantic Division. The next year, we should have been better.
We should have been good.
But with Bargnani and the Meta World Peace, and then, we lost all the veteran leadership, I think.
Yeah.
That's when it really started. I think we barely hit 500.
Yeah, he was like 37-45. He wasn't the same.
Raymond Felton wasn't the same. Carmelo, But, yeah.
There was another year. I'm going to take it back to the Marbury era when I thought we had a chance to make the playoffs. Remember, like, when Isaiah took over the team?
With Van Horn, right? Before he traded for Tim Thomas?
No, not that one. It was when we had, like, Francis in that first full year. And we had Jamal Crawford, and then Eddie Curry had the best year of his career. Before Eddie Fleury.
Yeah.
And Chandler and the league. But then, like, Crawford had the plantar fasciitis. Francis was, like, in and out. And then, like, there was so many guys hurt on that squad. They had a couple pockets where they played well, but they just... There's too many guys, you just can't overcome. And, like, I think, LeBron being out 20-something, Lonzo out half the year, Ingram catches the blood clot after All-Star break. That's 20 games. I mean...
Come on, man. Let's not use excuses for the Lakers' poor team structure. Like,
but do you think they should have gotten just a bunch of shooters who can't play defense like they did in Cleveland? Like, I liked what they did with the Lakers.
I think they should have gotten anybody who they've gotten. They got Deshaun. They got like
Lance Stevenson.
Lance made them dance, man. He made them dance.
You got Lance. You got
JaVale was good.
Like, it was a nightmare from the start. And people are like, oh well, LeBron's going to be there. LeBron never missed the playoffs. It don't mean nothing. You think, and then they want to use the excuse that LeBron got hurt. LeBron just took time off. LeBron went to shoot some shit. And it wasn't a basketball. He was just like,
you want me to be honest with you?
He was prepping at the shop.
You want me to be honest with
What's
you?
up?
To go back to the question that you said about how do you feel about them? Trade LeBron.
You want to trade LeBron James, arguably the second or first greatest player of all time?
Keep that pick, trade LeBron, dog.
Yo, how
So
honestly,
you'd rather a proper rebuild, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
You guys are the Knicks of 4 years ago.
I feel like
Word.
I feel like that's going to happen anyways because he's not getting any younger. What is he, 31, 32?
It's
34?
34. He's 34.
Oh,
Gonna be 35, I think.
come on, dog.
He's got
You gotta go, dog. Get him out of here.
At $40 million.
So you
Come on,
want
dog.
to?
Get him out of here.
So you really
Free that cap space.
So you want to just the youngins to just keep getting better and better?
Yes.
Like they won 35 games in Lonzo's rookie year, so they could have maybe got to 42 this year.
Get him out of there, dog. Trade for something good.
What if Anthony Davis or they get in a
Get
trade?
Anthony Davis. I don't give a fuck. Just get LeBron out, dog. Get him out of there, dog. I really think he hustled us, dog. He's like, shit, man, I'm getting old. They gonna pay me. Let me just go over here. And so now he's over here and he can shoot his movies. You know what I mean? He can do all that other shit that he wants to do. LA is the perfect place for
Why
it.
you think he ain't go to the Clippers?
Because they're the Clippers, man.
You know who's sitting over there?
I just said that to see what Paul was going to
Like I
say.
say, they could be saying that for long though. Like, how many years do the Clippers have to be good before people are like, oh, it's the Clippers?
Right. Okay. Well,
You think Doc gets Coach of the Year?
Doc Rivers, he did his best coaching job, but it's Mike Bud just has the thing around him because of Milwaukee being great, 60 plus wins, Giannis MVP, the management. I think that's just going to be a whole collective.
It's
Clips are supposed to be the bottom though, the bottom feeders of the West, but
Coach Bud, I was going to say, did a lot of like what Steve Kerr did with Golden State.
Right.
They're a 48 win team, and then suddenly they're 60 plus because you maximize your resources like they did with Giannis, surround him with shooters, solid defenders. So I mean, that's like, and the sad part is we could have had him, and I think Scott Perry's done a good job for the Knicks, but we could have had him
as a coach,
and David Griffin as a general manager.
But it's a different situation coming in though. Like, you're walking in, Giannis is already there. Or Giannis is already there.
It was already kind of built for him.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's
for
sure. Like you said, you put some shooters around him. Like, here, you talk about
But having a legitimate superstar is just the blessing. I mean, look, like when we talking about coaches, right? Like, I give Phil Jackson all of his respect, but I always have the asterisk on Phil because it's like he's always had the top guy, the top three guys in the game whenever he's coached. He
Is it fair to give him an asterisk?
Yeah,
No,
it's
it's
because
not his fault.
It's not like, because Phil's like the fixer, right? Like, Phil's like, don't talk to me unless you got 2 stars, first of all. Like, Phil's the guy you come to is like, all right, I went through Doug Collins.
Right.
I went through all these other coaches. We only got to the second round.
But he got a prime Jordan and a Pippen on the rise.
But even though, if you look at what Kobe and Shaq did before Phil got there, it was not...
Those Del Harris
It was
teams.
kind of ugly. Like,
They were getting swept in the first round, but they were good.
and then Phil came in and like that and changed both these. If you was listen to both, I'm not a Laker fan,
Right.
And,
But you follow the game, though.
right, and I've been a Shaq fan, not so much of a Kobe fan, but
Yeah.
I respect Kobe's game.
Kobe's his guy.
No, I respect Kobe's game. Don't get me wrong. Just different attitudes and stuff. But Phil, they both credit Phil for changing their career, turning their careers around.
That's true.
And when we watch, the detail now with Kobe, it's kind of tough not to see.
The influence.
Yeah.
No, I mean, look, he's great. He's a great coach. Like, because some people are X and O's coaches, some people are coaches that are player guys, and some people just know how to inspire guys. And Phil, his biggest, I think, positive was that he just knew how to inspire. He knew how to get the most out of you, even if. I mean, he can handle egos better than anybody.
Like in every sport, there's that one coach that you go when you want to get a championship,
Right.
And Phil's 75 now, so
but I like what I have to give more love to what Greg Popovich has done, because it's like he shuffled in his superstar age, and then they groomed other guys well, and they were able to keep their ship afloat 20 plus years. I mean,
Pop also adapted too. Like
he adapted, he changed his style. He used to be Mr. Defense, then he became offense, and now he's in somewhere in the middle. I don't know. For me, I get more out of that. Like,
there's not a lot of distractions in San Antonio either.
That's true. I mean, Phil did choose the Chicago market and then the
I'm just saying, like,
Hollywood.
if you're talking about, like, the environment, he doesn't have to worry about all of his young players going out to the club like they do in LA. Like
they got the rodeo.
not to say, no, they do. And they do on the road. The Spurs have girls in the hotel lobby just like any other team.
But the girls just look a little bit better in LA.
I'm just saying, it's just a different,
Yeah.
It's just a whole different environment. And, if you look at the Lakers structure, like, it reminds us, it's funny, as a Knicks fan, it's like y'all just trying to be us. Like, Ben already did all this
We've been
stuff.
a shit show.
Yeah, if you already did all this dysfunction. Y'all
Sexual harassment cases, nigga.
You're making us look good. It's like, but you see it too. Like, people always talk about the problem with the Knicks rise to the top, and I don't think Genie's the problem. But if you look under Genie, there seems to be power struggles.
We know about that Rambis problem. We know.
Yeah, we know about it.
We know about that.
that's not
Rambis is the cancer. Get rid of him.
No, but that's actually
Kurt Rambis is a cancer.
no. See, the people just blame. Who was
Nobody respects.
First of all, Rambis got a raw deal in New York, and then why? Because he wanted Porzingis to play in the post. Well, who was right there?
Phil Jackson.
Kurt Rambis was right. Porzingis, and we learned about how Porzingis is or who Porzingis is.
That's true. Hindsight's 2020.
Suppose Kurt and his wife have been part of the organization Lakers organization for a really long time. There's some, they're really good friends with Jeannie. I can see why she'd want somebody she trusts there when she has LeBron and Clutch basically trying to take over her organization.
Right.
Which is why I agree. You trade. Are you really mortgaging Are you really going to mortgage your entire franchise for a 35-year-old LeBron?
We don't owe him shit.
We don't.
Kobe, we owed him. You know what I mean? Okay,
talking about
Come on, let's be real.
Yeah.
They were paying him euros before he even played a game, though.
Who? LeBron?
Yeah.
Yeah. When I don't want to talk about it.
It was the hardest for him because we played in high school. We grew up together, right? And he's Kobe. He's from LA. We both in South Florida going, and he's Kobe. And then we got to hear about Wade. We got to hear about LeBron from everybody. And he's fuck LeBron, fuck Wade. But Kobe's in town. We go Lakers, fuck y'all. Then LeBron go to Miami, fuck y'all. Kobe still the shit, nigga, fuck y'all. And then Kobe's now retired, and LeBron comes to the Lakers. And they don't have a star for 5 years. Well, Kobe wasn't in star form after the Achilles. So it's LeBron goes in. It's do I have to like him? No. But will I just root? Because I'm a Laker fan? Yes.
Yeah, basically.
Off the court, well, obviously not there. We don't know what goes on in the locker room. But on the court, LeBron wasn't necessarily the problem other when he just gave up playing defense at the end of the year. But, the moves around him. You signed Rondo. You put JaVale McGee. You put.
I like
Lance
the JaVale
Stevenson.
signing.
You put Lance Stevenson. Where are the shooters?
Yeah, and
All right, go ahead,
we're in the
Sean.
modern era now. I mean, that's the thing. LeBron was better with shooters around him. They didn't play defense, but you knew you had to worry about J.R. Smith, Kevin Love from three.
Fry.
And then Brook Lopez, look what he's done with Milwaukee. Mm-hmm. That could have been a perfect spot.
They should have just kept him.
$3 million to spread the floor for LeBron, right?
Yeah.
Rondo, again, who's going to handle the ball, Rondo or LeBron? LeBron's going to be the primary guy. So I agree. I mean, a lot of bad front office moves when you could have used that money on cheaper guys. So I mean,
okay.
I think they could get something for Brandon Ingram because I don't think if they're going to keep LeBron, I don't think Brandon Ingram and LeBron play good together on the court.
Doesn't he have that?
Look,
the blood clot thing. So if it's not.
If you look at the stats, Brandon Ingram always plays better when LeBron's not on the court.
Oh, they don't play as a plus together?
No.
So you don't think if everybody played at least 67, 70 games, because I'll give it a take. People are going to miss some games now. 67 to 70 games with all the main core pieces, they don't make the playoffs? If Lonzo plays 20 more games?
I think they'll make the 8th spot.
20 more. I think they could have secured that playoff spot. And you never know in the playoffs.
The West is tough. You just never know who the
That's
the West
true. It's
every
you
year,
never know.
You don't know who 5 through 8 is going to be in the West every year because it just changes.
It's just a combination, though. It's a combination of that plus the Anthony Davis rumors.
Right, yeah. That rumor's
all
killed
the
the
young
team.
players have all, all their enthusiasm's down. They think they're going to get traded tomorrow or this summer. So
that's true.
That hurt.
So you'd rather keep the pick, right? So if if the number 4th pick suits up next year, who do you want to take, and who's your top 3 draft board going order?
What was the kid's name out of I can't remember his name.
Culver from Texas Tech.
No.
Darius Garland, Vanderbilt, DeAndre Hunter.
Vanderbilt. The kid from Vanderbilt.
Point guard?
He's clutch, too.
Yeah.
He's a clutch client.
Yeah, I like him.
Either him or Cam Reddish.
Is Cam entering the draft or is he going back to draft?
He's
going?
Yeah, he said, he was one and done. He was like, fuck y'all. Y'all ain't let me shine. I'm going to go in the league and show y'all.
Man,
I was a Cam guy going into the season, but he was so inconsistent. Those numbers are horrible.
But you know what's crazy? If you ask any ball player, like any kid that's in high school or in college,
Yeah.
you know, like I know a lot of like those young ball players.
Yeah.
I ask them like, who was like the hardest person you ever had to guard? They always say Cam.
Really?
Always say Cam.
That's interesting.
Like I'll ask 12 people and like 11 of them will say Cam.
He
Which
was
is
the
crazy.
hard- yeah.
I just think like with Zion there and RJ
Trey Jones handling
and Trey
the ball.
Jones,
Yeah.
like he couldn't really really
catch
get
a
in rhythm or do
Yeah.
what he wanted to.
Yeah, and I think I feel like that it's hard to forgive a 35% field goal percentage. Like it's really like me and Sean, we talk about that. Like, goddamn, that's a brutal field goal percentage.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, to be the guy that in high school, the ball goes through you, you're considered like a point forward. You have a smooth shot, you could score, you could do all these things, and then you're really not touching the ball like that, and plays are not really being ran for you. You get kind of like the scraps, and you kind of have to settle into just like an off ball, and you've never played off ball. I don't think about how hard that must be a transition for somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but what the issue is if you're a draft evaluator, you got to go, okay, am I going to draft him at 7 or 8 and then let him do what he does best? Give him the ball? Typically not. That's a big resource to
risk.
give up for a risk when he hasn't even done that in college. So, and when you have the sweet stroke and the ability to defend and the length that he has, if he just plays that role and then maybe develop those other skills later on, you hope that he's able to do that. That's where I think he'll be successful, learning his role, and then maybe 2-3 years from now starting to really show that he could do a little bit more. Kind of like Paul George, where
he got to go in slowly.
That a little bit.
That's who he gets compared to the most. What Cam thing too is like when and this is because we care about ball, and I love to like study and research shit, even though it's like it don't do anything for my life. But like I learned that he signed to Duke, and he was supposed to be the guy. Then, like, months later, RJ decides, I'm going to go to Duke. And then everybody thought Zion was going to go to Clemson or play somewhere in South Carolina. Then he, last minute, decides to go to Duke. So it's like, you go from the pecking order, and then you can fall all the way down here. And that just was, I don't think it just fucked up his whole season. I mean, he had some good games here and there. Kind of like Nasir Little a little bit in UNC. Like, he was supposed to be a beast. And then everybody at the Combine was like, yo, Kobe White, his teammate who's going to be like a top 10 pick, was like, he's actually a really good shooter.
Yeah.
But he didn't get to show it because he had to play behind Cam Johnson and like other forwards. And he just kind of had to find his...
I don't know if you remember when RJ and Zion weren't having a good game. I think it was against FSU.
Yeah.
Where Cam dropped like 38 on him.
And had the game winner.
Yeah. So it's like he can do it. It's just he doesn't really get a chance to.
Yeah, but when you think about having to invest millions in a kid like Cam, it's like the inconsistency.
Yeah,
it's like,
you can't take that chance really.
But you know what I can see happening is that at that 8 and 10 mark for Atlanta, right?
For sure. He's perfect.
System.
Yeah.
They could end up with Nas Little at 10 and like Cam Reddish at 8 or something.
Yeah, get 2 wins.
Brandon Clark, who I love.
Yeah, he's a sleeper guy.
Those guys, like to me, I mean, Atlanta might come out of it.
They could.
System.
It's because every year they do this. They say, oh, there's only 3 guys and it's the top guys. But when you look at every draft, there's always like number 2 usually be the biggest bust. There's always at least 1 or 2 busts in the top 5, and there's always somebody in the middle of the first round who becomes a star, and there's somebody in the second round. So there's going to be at least 5 guys. Like it's not going to be the Zion, RJ, and Ja Morant, and then that's it. There's going to be like a couple more guys that come after and show out. So let's go. Okay, so you pick. Garland's your guy.
Yeah.
Okay, you go Garland.
Vanderbilt.
So the Knicks, we got 3. So fellas, if we don't get anything in free agency, if we come away with the worst summer, we don't spend that max on nobody. Who would you want to see the Knicks with at number 3 going into next year?
The draft happens first, so.
Right. So who would we draft and hope we keep going into next year? If we don't make a move and we got to keep the pick and keep moving as a unit based on our roster from last year going into next year, who would you guys take at number 3?
I mean, at this point, it's a no-brainer. You take RJ, just talent. I mean,
but who would you personally take? You don't have to go with what they say.
No, it's not what they say. Like you go for it's all a crapshoot. We just said it's a crapshoot, right? So you go for the third. RJ was the number 1 player after last year's draft.
Right.
Just because and everybody says it's a 3-player draft, and I do feel like there was a fall off from Zion to Ja, from Ja to RJ. But we talk about this on the group chat all the time. What RJ did at 18 numbers wise is impressive, and it's just he's just still so raw. But honestly, I don't think. And I think it's part of the reason, as the beat writers have speculated, why we haven't really heard the Knicks speak is I don't really think this pick is going to stay here based on the other stuff that we've been hearing about the summer plans.
Yeah. So, Sean, who would you take if we know that the Knicks are not getting anybody and we just got to roll with the young core and keep rebuilding the proper rebuild? So who would you take? Fuck what the pundits say, fuck what the mock draft say. Who does Sean like as the 3rd best player?
I honestly would...
Just do it, Sean.
There's 2 things. Okay. I could trade. I would be comfortable if they traded back. to like say 8-10 or a future first, to like Cleveland, and then like the 2022 first unprotected, which I heard was something online.
Okay.
I would be okay with it only because I think more assets the better. Now, if you know for sure you're not getting Kevin Durant or Kyrie Irving, right? I could see RJ Barrett being better in that role where you can give him the ball and let him kind of develop into that. Yeah. So I wouldn't be mad at that.
Just be frustrated for another year.
Right. But what I'm concerned about is the Kevin Knox, Dennis Smith Jr. Like I think our assets have value, but they have to become better defenders and they have to play more efficiently.
Absolutely.
So if they're not able to do that, you could see yourselves in 2 years being with. Having a team that doesn't have it. That's why I was a proponent of drafting like Mikal Bridges or Shai Alexander over Kevin Knox.
Just get the role players.
Year. To me, those are players that help you win, and they're just more efficient. But I understand the Knicks probably thought Kevin Knox is 6'10", he has the ability to eventually grow, but to be like a primary guy with the ball. But to me, I don't really see it. So to me, it's like I try to find the balanced players.
Yeah.
And that's where I like Jarrett Culver.
Right,
Brandon
Culver. Yeah, we go back and forth with Culver.
To me, those guys are going to be better next to Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving than RJ Barrett ever would be. But like Chris said, RJ Barrett is going to get traded. The Knicks are going to do everything they can to trade RJ Barrett, Mitchell Robinson, all their young team, future picks for either Bradley Beal or Anthony Davis, especially if they get Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. If they don't get those two guys, then I could see them standing pat, drafting RJ and just continuing to grow that team. That makes sense to me, but I think the Knicks are going to land those two free agents in there.
You know something? What were you going to say, Tony? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Take it over, because I got to text my girlfriend.
Okay.
Am I crazy? Lakers?
No, I was just going to ask, who do you guys think you guys are going to get in the offseason, like free agent-wise? Or through trades.
I don't want to really say this out loud. So
I'll say it. Kevin Durant.
You think?
Honestly, at this point, so these guys know. Up until like February, March, I was like, don't talk to me about Kevin Durant. He's not coming here. We do this all the time, blah, blah, blah. But then it gets to be a point where it's just like, okay, you're hearing it from literally everywhere and everything. Yeah. And it gets to a point where it's like, at this point now, I would be surprised. Like, if July 1st comes.
If he doesn't come?
I'll be surprised if he doesn't come at this point. Because it's literally, I think Popper.
The whole fan base feels
Popper just had an article where he said the talk of the combine wasn't the draft pick, wasn't the players. It was like, how did the Knicks score KD, because he's going there
and lining up endorsement deals already.
Like they had a secret handshake meeting.
I had this conversation with somebody a couple of days ago, and you know how they always say LeBron's better than KD, and I was saying what's gonna suck? I think KD's gonna end up with more ships than LeBron.
Well, shit, he has already 2. So if he wins this year, he's tied.
Yeah.
So you don't have to win one more, and then he beats.
I really think he can get.
And he has a longer window, technically. Yeah. Depending on how LeBron, has the other teams set up throughout him the rest of his career. But yeah, KD, if they can win this year, he's tied. So
what do you think about Golden State without him right now?
They're really good.
Man, listen,
I underestimated their bench, but they're still a great team.
Fuck that. I said it. I said that they didn't fucking need him to win the series. I said that they didn't need him to go to the finals. I said that.
No, they didn't.
I wouldn't be mad at you because I never viewed Portland as a threat, though. They're a pretender. They're not a
I don't care. Team. I don't care who they played in the West.
Okay.
They didn't need him to go to the finals. Right. And then people, you know what it is?
They could have beat any
because he's been there, they forget how good Steph Curry is. They forgot he's a 2-time MVP.
Yeah. Steph is the most unselfish superstar.
Yeah, they forget. I heard he's an asshole though. Iguodala said it. Like he said, like as a they said like as a basketball player, not like real life asshole, on the court basketball player, teammate.
I love that though.
He's an asshole. Like he almost has like that Kobe gene where like he's just an asshole to you and wants you to be better.
Well, if somebody's pulling up on you 30, 35 feet, I mean, what are you gonna think of them?
And then shimmy on you.
And can still get by you and take it to the rack.
Yeah, like that's a fight anywhere else, like outside the NBA.
my boy
outside of organized basketball.
Shout out to Joel. He's a heavy Knicks and sports head, but he hits me up when Steph has these games like that, and he's like, "Yo, Steph is he thinks Steph is a top 10 of all time player because of how he's impacted the game just as a perimeter threat." Mm-hmm. And he's reminding you, this is what I used to do. Keep him giving slack on some of those Cleveland games from that series they lost. I must have forgot, but he's been doing this now 5-6 years, dominating.
Mm-hmm. The players didn't change. Our mindsets did. We're so caught up in the social media narratives every day where we got caught up in this bullshit that Steph wasn't clutch. Like, Get the fuck out of my face with that shit. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous. And like you said, they never needed Durant. It was gravy.
Durant needed them.
It's gravy. It's been gravy all along. Like, they lost that series. I'll say they lost that series to the Cavs because of the league.
Yeah.
The league suspended Draymond, and they didn't give anything to LeBron, who
And they lost
instigated
Bogut. People forgot they lost. Bogut was a helpful piece too.
So it's you know.
Draymond picked it up last night too, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he said he got in shape before the playoffs started, and it shows like he's been just balling like out of his mind.
He gets the rebound and takes off.
And he's
does
a
whatever
smart
he wants.
passer.
Yeah.
Like Kobe broke down the details.
Yeah.
You see
He
what
always
Draymond
makes the right
passing?
play. He always makes the right play.
Yeah, if you watch that Kobe detail, it shows you stuff.
amazing.
And Draymond's game that you don't even think about. Or
Yeah.
even as an experienced basketball fan, when you watch, you're not seeing that.
He's a weird superstar because, like, he's not the Giannis, Kevin Durant, Paul George, Harden kind of guy, but he's an all-around player that you still need that's valuable, but it's just not, it can't be, you just can't quantify it because, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. Well, Zion has the ability to be like
I think he can
ultra Draymond.
He could be an ultra
right?
Draymond.
All of that.
But see, I think that that's what the difference. But Zion is just pure raw physical prospect, right? And Draymond is really high basketball IQ.
Yeah,
I
very
think Zion's cerebral too. Did you see some of those passes that he made throughout the year?
I
He
think
can move in the offense too. Like if they did more pick and roll where Zion was screening and you did the dump off and Zion makes a decision, he would have been doing that. But they just kind of I'm telling you, I blame Coach K's offense.
I don't want to say this on a podcast where it can later be used against me, but I can see Zion struggling at the next level.
I don't see how when they have so much space.
6'7".
He jumps out of the gym. Draymond's 6'7".
Yeah, but it's there.
Look how much Draymond finishes.
But Draymond can shoot the three.
Not really. Not
He
great.
can shoot better than Zion.
At this stage now, but Zion can already. He's already not like a liability.
And he's gonna have to extend his range.
He will have to extend his range, but still, just off a slashing threat, and especially if he's on a team that has a couple of good shooters, he'll be able to score 15 easily. Just
and this
off
is
his
where
ability.
David Griffin and Alvin Gentry matter for New Orleans, right? Alvin Gentry had Julius Randle, had a great season last year. Don't know how to use him. Another guy the Lakers let walk
They used him great.
And then
they run a high-pace offense.
And he was on Steve Kerr's staff with Draymond, so he knows
exactly how to coach him.
Do that. So, and I think David Griffin understands, again, you build guys that could shoot in the modern era. And so I see New Orleans next year. They're going to keep Holiday, have Zion, and they're just going to get shooters around them,
yeah.
I mean, to me, and the guys that could defend. And try to run the same type of an offense like that at Golden State.
And you got to look too, like Draymond, different prospect because he was 4 years coached. He wasn't the big greatest athlete. He came into the league like a really solid dude that had to lose weight and find his niche. But Zion already has like so much more of an edge because he's coming into the league as a 19-year-old. Like I would take 19-year-old Zion over 22-year-old Draymond like every time.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the talent level is just different, but it also depends on what you're.
And the defense is already there.
But it also depends on like what type of team you have and what you're building. I mean, completely different.
But I like what Sean says. What the point is, like the Pelicans, they just know what to do with a guy like Zion.
Right.
They know how to maximize a guy like Zion.
And now this is what David Griffin has to evaluate, right? How do I build this team around him?
Yeah.
Do the Knicks core work or do the Lakers core work? And I mean, kind of like
that's
it
could be any team. And they can make a deal with anybody.
I have a thing where like I put this theory out there. The trades that happen are the ones you never could have predicted. It's always the ones where like we've been seeing all these rumors for a LA trade for the whole year in the papers every day. These pieces, and then it's a trade that blindsides you. It happens all the time. Who saw the Porzingis trade coming with the Mavs. We were like in the group. I was filming I was filming something that day. 1 minute I see there was a meeting. He's gone. Shit, fuck. I go eat. Shit, he left. He traded.
That was the rare occasion where the news was coming in faster than the rumors. It was like you didn't know if the actual news was rumored. Like, wait a second, this just happened.
This just happened.
An hour. They just said an hour ago they had a meeting, and now he's a Maverick. Like
I was like,
and I forgot how it was reported, but Scott Perry supposedly was making the deal the night before. Knew he was going to have a meeting the next morning with Porzingis, and kind of sat there. Oh, you want to get traded? Okay, cool. I already have it in the.
Accepted.
I have it ready to go, and so I don't care if you want to go to Miami or San Antonio or wherever. But I think the leverage is a little bit different this time with the Lakers and the Knicks because obviously New Orleans does not want to make a deal with the Lakers. I don't think they do. because you don't want to have a player of that magnitude stay in the West, right? And then the Lakers can't.
Common theory is you trade that valuable guy to the East so that you don't have to deal with him.
Right.
As the real
and then to me, Ingram, questionable from the health.
But he was playing really good, though.
I would always have to worry about Lonzo Ball's family. Like I don't want to have anything to do with his dad being a part of my organization.
Kuzma's the only thing you're getting
cool,
solid.
Josh Hart's cool.
Picks.
But again, in 2 years, you're going to have to pay those guys, right?
Right.
And to me, Kyle Kuzma is a stretch 4. To me, Zion's going to play the 4. So the Lakers, I think, the reason that they really didn't have a good chance was because New Orleans wasn't interested in all at that.
I would try to steal Bradley Beal. And then try
the
to sign a
Lakers
guy.
make a lot of sense for Bradley Beal.
Bradley Beal would be great for LeBron, man. 6'5", handle the ball, could shoot, play on and off the ball, can run a team when LeBron needs the rest. He's a clutch guy. Like, you can tell he's built for the playoffs. And then they just, invest that max or whatever in a big man.
But here's the thing, though. Washington, I think they just offered the job to Denver's second man in charge for Tim Connolly.
Yeah.
So he's going to come, and he's going to run Washington. And Denver's always had a really good front office.
Yeah, they have.
So, I mean, would they let Beal go? And if so, why would they do it the Laker deal, right?
Well, is he trading the guy to the West, though?
Right, but I'm saying, like, if Connolly goes, Beal's not telling me it's Lakers or bust. I have the entire marketplace to go to.
That's true. That's true.
And so, so there's a whole new philosophy in Washington. I don't think with Connolly there, they're going to be that poorly run franchise.
No.
Used to be,
Yeah, the Wizards are going to be looking a little bit cleaner for the next 5 years.
They're screwed regardless. That
John Wall shit is
that John Wall contract's an albatross.
Yeah, it is.
Supermax kicks in next year, $40 million on a dude on an Achilles tear.
Oh,
he ain't coming back this time.
God, that you know how he fucked it up, right?
They say it's a bathtub.
In the bathtub.
He
You
slipped
believe
and
that?
fell in his house.
You believe it?
I don't know if he slipped in the bathtub. I thought he was fucking some hoes, and he was trying to do some crazy shit. And fell
I
off
can
the
tear
bed
your
and
Achilles and I'm not even going to go there.
Fucking, I'm falling down the steps.
No, I'm saying
Fucking some hoes.
mid-stroke you tear your Achilles.
I'm saying he probably tried to do some crazy, try to like.
But
put
he
his
already
leg
had
on
an
the
injury.
wall.
He had a bone injury before that in his heel, right? So that's, I mean, he could probably be at least a above average player. I don't know if he becomes the all-star with the speed and the hops.
No.
Well, they say you stay, you lose the speed or you lose the hops.
Were you at Vegas with us last year when
At Summer League.
No, but when John Wall showed up,
And Boogie and Boogie saw him and Boogie dap real quick.
he did not look like an NBA player
he
at that
didn't.
point.
Oh, he was big, right?
Yeah.
I told you when I played with him in the pro-am,
Yeah.
he had like the heavyweight
The
on him.
gut on
And when he came on the court, like he took a shot, I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna fuck him up, right? Nah, no way. He still had that he still had that speed. Like he
But
was fucking me
there
up.
is a thing to like being in shape, and then he's getting by on just his natural ability and letting himself go. But I heard he was dealing with some internal stuff, like his mom got real sick, family stress, and kid, like, so he's been dealing with a lot personal wise and just
But he's one of those guys that not a great defender, not a great
when he wants to.
leader from a point guard position, and not a great shooter. So when you lose that athleticism,
It's hard. Yeah, he's gonna really have to
But
work on that
also-
set shot.
And also, how does the team play without you? They played better without him.
Did they? They still. They
I
was
think they kind of did though. I think Saturday
when he's been there, they
got
make the
along.
playoffs. When he was gone, they didn't.
They got along better
No.
without him.
What is getting along if John Wall, when John Wall was there, you were within a game of the Eastern Conference
I think
Finals.
they went on a little run after he went.
And then it subsided because teams zoning in on Bradley. They're not better without John.
Yeah. No, if with a healthy John Wall, no. That's
Yeah.
not the case.
What else we got covered? So you would take Culver?
Okay. Yeah.
You never answered the
I
question.
don't know.
You don't know Paul.
It all depends. Look, if we're getting Durant and Kyrie, I take Culver for
Okay.
sure, or I try to trade back and try to do like a Clark.
Okay.
And
another guy.
and another one of those players that
Maybe like two. Would you trade with the Celtics? Do we trade with the enemy even though they got
Wait,
2 picks?
Well, actually, hold on. If we are getting Kyrie and Durant,
Oh, right.
I'm keeping the pick. I'm drafting RJ Barrett, and that's another
This
reason
Knicks
why
group doesn't want Kyrie
That's
as a first guy.
Well, yeah, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
But to me, RJ Barrett and Zion can play together in New Orleans pretty
Yeah.
well. And I think, if anything, Zion might say, look, I want to play with RJ again. So
I think that's the best situation. But I'm sorry, I dispute your theory of thinking that RJ couldn't fit with Durant and Kyrie. I think he can because when you have guys who are perimeter oriented and especially how they like to shoot more, you're gonna need a guy who wants to attack the basket.
If he was a better passer, like to me, Culver and Barrett both average 4 assists a game, but Culver was a better shooter at the rim. I mean, he's a year older than RJ, and he's a hell of a lot of a better defender. And to me, you just need guys that if you're going to be in the playoffs, I don't want to have to worry about R.J. Barrett's defense. I don't want to have to worry about him barreling into like 3 guys under the post when Zion's on the court, right? Like he did in the tournament, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so to me, no, you give the ball to Kyrie and Durant, and you move out of the way, and you get ready to shoot your 3. Now, I think in 2 years he can become a better shooter. I think he'll be smart enough, is competitive enough to play that role. But I think it's better for him to be on a team where he can be the primary guy, or he's already comfortable playing with Zion. If Zion's happy playing with him, but that might work.
But this is why I think me and Chris lean towards RJ, because I agree. Culver probably from day one will understand better defensive content because Texas Tech focused on defense principles, so he learned that, and then he played 1 year off the ball. Then he had another year where he played on the ball, so he had experience doing both, and he has got good size. And he couldn't come in day one blending in with Kyrie and KD. But when they get older and age out, I don't think he has I don't know if he'll have the ability to be a star carry team. And I feel like with RJ, he'll let him take his lumps his first few years, but by year 5, year 6. Well, all-around guy.
Yeah, no, I hear you. But to me, if you get Durant and Kyrie, all that matters is the next 4 years.
That's true.
That's it. You're never going to win. Who cares if you win 1 5 to 10 to 15 years from now, right? To me, the key is, what do I do for Kevin Durant to get him what he needs? And that's Anthony Davis, and that's your picks. That's your entire youth. Yeah. It's everything. And if Kevin Durant wins 3 rings and 1 in New York, I mean, what does that do to the LeBron versus Durant?
If he wins 1 in New York, I think that beats a Cleveland win.
Right?
I think a basketball championship.
I don't know, though. That Cleveland championship was... Whew. If you look back at that team, it's just...
You want to talk about asterisks.
Kyrie and Kev. That was a good... And JR was a good player at that time.
You want to talk about asterisks, though.
Yeah.
There's an asterisk of the series. I don't know how we act. Like, everybody just acts like Golden State wasn't steamrolling them, and then the series changed with the league getting involved. So,
well, but some people say, too, that first series where they played each other, Cleveland took them to 6, and that was without Love and Kyrie. Mm-hmm. The next year it goes 7. Then when Durant came, it shifted the scale.
But it shouldn't have gone 7. It shouldn't even,
it shouldn't have, but I think it wasn't a more competitive series. You know what I'm saying? Because LeBron was able to get them to 6 in that first year, and he didn't have any of those other guys. It was LeBron finally played the way I wish he would have played his whole career, which is just fucking score for 40 points, get 15 rebounds, and pass when you need to. But he played in his best. That was the most fun I ever had watching LeBron. That first finals, he's dropping like 40 a night
with Cleveland, or
with Cleveland. Yeah. That was the best. That was the fucking best LeBron.
But to answer the question, I think a basketball championship in New York is just one of those. It's one of those holy grail things, right? Mm-hmm. It's just never, anybody who does it.
Anybody who does it.
It's going to be. It's like one of those things where there'd be like, I don't know what to compare it to in other sports, but it's just.
Can I ask the question of everyone here? If, and Tony too, Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and whatever.
Minimum guys, we're
very, we're
invested.
Partial invested, right? What do you think that team can do next year if that team actually does occur?
Tony looked at you like, in purple and gold?
In the gold? Well, I tell you.
That's literally all I see. But honestly, they can I definitely see them going. They either go to the finals or the Eastern Conference Finals. And play the Bucks. Yeah. That's what I see. And I say the Bucks because just the Bucks, because I don't see Toronto beating them, even if they have Kawhi next year.
Just interesting food for thought.
What's that?
Now that Giannis is the best player in the Eastern Conference, if LeBron might have gotten out just in time, because I don't know if the Cleveland Cavaliers would have
another year
with LeBron would have.
Fuck no.
Well, we don't know.
I think they would have.
It's too hard because you don't know what moves they would have made to adjust, because it's like Kevin Love was a free agent, so if LeBron's there, you don't know if they would have invested another contract. Maybe they would have shifted and put some other piece. We really can't know.
Even if the Cavs did win this year, it's just inevitable that the Bucks were just going to
surpass them.
Inevitable, sure. But I'm not ready to give them that, because I still feel like in LeBron in the playoffs, we counted him to get beaten so many times and he didn't.
It's like watching like Planet Earth, right? When you have like the old stud on the plains, and then you got the young dude comes along, knocks him off for the pride. That's what it would be between Giannis and LeBron.
I would have loved to have seen that, because they didn't get a chance to face, so it probably won't happen. But maybe we'll get Durant and Giannis in a couple times with either Golden State this year and then New York.
But in that matchup, I give the edge to KD because
At least for the next 2-3 years.
Well, because until Giannis gets a jump shot.
Yeah, consistent one. Yeah.
And we got if we re-sign Noah Vonleh, we got the antidote anyway. So
help defend Giannis. Right?
Yo, do you think we should bring back Noah? Is he on it?
Well, he's a vet minimum, so that's going to be the thing. If we do get the big three, right?
Yeah,
or
if we get that big three.
Or
the big two.
And keep RJ.
Yeah.
Anyway, if we do that, then to me, it's like you got nothing, right? You got just a bunch of like
we're bringing back Moutier?
$4 million, right? So like,
Emmanuel
I think
Moutier.
you could get Vonleh back for a vet minimum to play with stars.
Yeah.
I could see him doing that.
That's a whole in our lineup, the power forward.
it's always going to come down to how much somebody else is willing to pay them too,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
Because it's like
Smart.
Noah Vonleh just turned his career around. You think he's going to take the minimum to stay in New York?
Yeah, he's young. If he was older, maybe he would. But
Yeah, we're gonna have to fill up that power forward spot unless we don't lose Mitch. Because NAD, I really have hope that the Knicks will value Mitch Robinson and keep him. I really want to keep him.
I hate to talk about players like they're already here when they're not,
They're not, yeah.
but it kind of makes sense for KD to play the 4 here.
Is he willing to shift though? Because Draymond still plays the 4.
This year, but last year KD
played the 4. He played
Yeah.
one 4. So I guess he's ready at
Or
this
his
point.
first, I should say his first year and goes.
I mean, look, nigga, you 7 feet 2 something. You 10 years in, you got to be ready to just bang with the 4s. I don't know why. I don't know if he's still trying to play the 3 that much, but like. Well, they switched a lot in Golden State, so you kind of really never know what position he starts at and then finishes at.
Well, because it wasn't until this year they got actual centers, right? Because before Draymond used to be their center.
Yeah, well, the last year was JaVale. They played JaVale like 20 minutes.
Right, but this year they had DeMarcus and now they have Bogut.
Yeah.
But I think you could find serviceable big men to play 20 minutes. You find 2 of those guys from the vet minimum. I mean, like I said, Brook Lopez got paid $3 million last year. I think you could do that.
You could find him.
Draft Taco.
Draft.
Yeah, draft Taco 55.
55th pick, right? Taco Fall. You see the Taco Fall dude? Who's 7, like 8?
The super tall kid who
He's
dunks
a wall.
without jumping.
He does dunk without jumping. I think he would help sell some tickets to the Garden.
He almost helped UCF beat dude.
That was a great game, yo.
I think he fouled out.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. Zion, when Zion finally was able to finish on him, because he was the first guy I saw that made Zion struggle finishing at the basket.
Well, that's what I mean.
Zion ain't going against that though.
Well, but there's Boban. There's other dudes like, but
That's a 10-minute stretch in the game.
Taco's not even like he's not athletic at all. If you watch him play, he's not athletic. He look like he don't even know how to play basketball. He just stands at the rim like this and then moves his.
Well,
hand
they said he actually showed some stuff at the combine. Like he was a little bit more fluid than they gave him credit for. I mean, he's not going to be a 35-minute a night center. He's playing 10 minutes. He's playing spot minutes, and then that's it. Like he's just a different look. It's like if we can buy a guy some time, he can contest some shots. Cool, but like nobody's banking on him being a star or whatever like that.
Yeah.
But like with Zion, that's the thing with Zion. It's like the way you see Giannis and Ben Simmons and LeBron, where you can let him run on the fast break. Who the fuck is trying to take charges on that? Like.
Well, you got
drive after drive.
but you got to be on the fast break. But like what's he going to do in the half court is the question. Like
when the game slows down, that's where he's going to take his lumps. Like, but that's when you can do these different things like those Draymond actions or him in a post up in the ISO. Like I think he could face up and do a couple of things here and there until he learns.
I just think the height's going to give him trouble. Like you look,
he will get some trouble.
As much as shit we've talked about LeBron, and LeBron's a great player, and LeBron struggled against height. Like there's a reason why he struggled every time Dwight Howard.
Dwight beat him.
LeBron's numbers with Dwight Howard on the court versus everybody else were like ridiculous.
Yeah, those are Orlando Dwight, right?
Yeah,
that's the year they beat him. Dwight don't get enough love for beating Cleveland, yo. And he beat LeBron in his prime. He's one of the few that can say it.
Mm-hmm. So it's I think
he'll struggle. I just think
Bears. You got a lot of. There's a lot of. I think height is going to give him a problem until he gets.
Yeah.
Develops other facets of his game.
I think if Barkley can play as great as he did for as long as he did at 6'4", 6'5".
Barkley played like a guard.
Yeah.
He wasn't a great shooter though. He had the handles.
But he could shoot. He could shoot, and especially by the time.
But not rookie season.
But especially by the time he got to Phoenix, he was shooting threes, and he was shooting threes. But Barkley played like a fat guard. Like
give Zion 7 years. The same thing.
The thing they had to read the round mound to rebound. He was 6'5", but he'd get the. And on top of it, it was a different league.
It was a different league.
Physical intimidation factor.
But NBA spacing is a thing, though.
There's a difference.
That floor is going to be so wide open, bro.
There's a difference. Now you throw an elbow in somebody's chops, and now dudes are turning looking for the refs to do something. Back then, dudes just like there's just dudes you weren't going to elbow. Like
for sure. But he would have been able to bang with an Oakley. Nobody's punking Zion on that court. You 285. Nobody's punking you. I'm sorry.
Bro,
when you 285, look at that motherfucker.
Bro, listen to me, man. Listen to me, Nick.
Shaq,
he is going to get into the league with grown men, right? I watch Zion play, and he's athletic out of this world.
Strong.
But there are just some people, like he says, like there's people that you just don't fuck with. Like a Shaq, you can tell he was dominant, but then his attitude was like, you can't fuck with me. Right. Zion don't have that attitude. He's just a really good basketball player. He doesn't have that attitude like you can't fuck with me and you're not going to fuck. He doesn't have that. I see it when he's on the court.
He's not Anthony Davis soft, but I see him. He leans more to Giannis than AD to me. Because when I watch, when he got the ball and he would always attack, and he's like feisty. He's not AD or who gets rattled like Ben Simmons.
I don't even see Zion. I don't even see Zion like talk shit back. You know how like he gets a dunk.
Right.
Like if I dunk and I block his shit out of the mouth, get that shit out of here, nigga. Like
little fuckers didn't want to say nothing to Zion.
You gotta feel me, but he doesn't. I feel like he doesn't have that, and he's gonna get in the league with grown men.
Right, exactly. So right now it's
grown men. Right now, it's not kids no more.
Right now it's men against boys, and it's gonna be men against men. Like there's gonna be dudes bigger than you. Like he might be weight wise, he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be like top 3% or something. They said something, but from a height perspective, like you tell me the last 6'7" big man inside player that's been dominant.
Draymond.
No, that's been dominant.
Dominant. Like
Draymond plays in the perimeter.
Well, he's gonna do that too. Like nobody's telling.
I mean, you think about standout 6'7" players. Who we talk like Clarence Weatherspoon,
Rodney Rogers.
Like for real. This is the type of size.
Chuck Hayes.
And Rodney Rogers was what, like 6'7", 260. So he's only like 25.
Boris Diaw.
Like.
Diaw was nice.
Oh, stop it.
Diaw was nice, man.
The Frenchman.
He was nice.
He was okay. He was okay.
Every team he played for, they were winning. He contributed in a win.
That's that it was all on him, huh?
Nah, he was a fourth guy, but he was needed for.
Look, if I'm
context is everything I know.
If I'm a guard and I'm on the block, get out. I'm getting out of the way with Zion there. But but the big dudes, he's gonna even against the bench players. I think he's gonna there's gonna be guys he's gonna struggle.
I for sure think he'll have some rough nights. His jump shot will get tested and he's gonna clunk it a couple of days. But more often than not, he's getting 15 and 8 rebounds and a block of steal easily.
Well, he's gonna be the focal point of that team, right? Yeah. It's gonna be
That's my major question where I think you might struggle. Right?
Is he number one or number two?
RJ was always the number one. RJ was the guy
that took shots like he was number one.
Right?
Yeah.
He ISO'd and then or Trey Jones ran the offense. So I think you see flashes of Zion being able to create.
Yeah.
But to be the focal point of the offense,
that'd be work.
He'll be able to do that.
But that's what Drew helps him.
Draymond, I think the Draymond role is like where he could be amazing in that.
Yes.
I don't ever think he'll be like LeBron in that sense of bringing the ball up the court,
half court
vision, and making passes for three. I think he'll do that out of secondary creation, but not primary.
Draymond does all that to make up for what he doesn't. You know what I mean? It's all between Draymond doesn't play above the rim.
But think about that Zion option, does. That's the advantage.
That option's not there for him. So for Zion, I don't think he's going to be that. I don't think he's going to become that cerebral, Magic Johnson type player. Because that's really
that's the best case.
Because that's what Draymond. I don't see any of that in Zion. I don't see a passer. I see Antonio McDyess. I see Sean Kemp. I see dudes like that. I don't see
young Amari.
Yeah, down the yeah. From a power standpoint.
And second chance points too.
From a power standpoint,
he's gonna clean up them glass, man.
Do that.
So, all right, let's talk playoffs before we wrap it up. So, right now it's Portland, Golden State. I learned that Lillard's been playing with a separated rib, not to make excuses.
Yeah.
But, his game definitely has been, it's fallen off some since we saw against the Thunder and the Nuggets. Do we think Portland can get at least one? So, make it a gentleman's sweep? Or, because now Iguodala had an injury too, so they might keep him out. So, now they're another guy down. Do they put him away?
Maybe one, but we all said it before the series started.
Golden State got him.
Yeah, and especially when Golden State, knocked off Houston without KD. I just think it gave them their swag back
for sure.
There's blood in the water. They're just going to go for it. They'll figure out a way to win
and then get that rest.
Yeah.
Right, but this is the Warriors are people think they're a well-oiled machine. Like even when they get to face Milwaukee or they're going to face Milwaukee, like Milwaukee's coming into this green, no pun intended. The Warriors have been here; they know what to do.
Yeah.
This is, like I said, this is not just the players, but it's also they don't give the coaching staff enough credit there.
Yeah.
The offense that they run.
Sure.
You got guys setting 3 picks on each play.
No, they set a lot of screens. Go ahead.
My question was going to be: do you think without, say, Durant's still out, do you think they could beat Milwaukee without Durant
in a 7-game series?
Yes.
I think they could.
I think it goes 7 though.
No. I said.
You think you still think they could beat them?
At the most I see a series between them going is 6. But
really?
Yeah.
I said it this morning. I was like, they can beat them. It'll be a little bit tougher, of course.
Who's stopping Giannis though?
You don't have to.
You don't have to. Let him go.
Yeah.
You stop everybody else.
But everybody else can shoot, though. They're not a team without shooters, though.
Honestly, Giannis is going to stop Giannis because, they just let him shoot,
But the team has shooters. It's not like they're facing these guys who don't shoot. They got Brogdon, who can shoot really well. Mirotic, Lopez, Bledsoe can have a good game here and there. George Hill can shoot well here and there.
Middleton, too, right?
That's Middleton, their all-star, the secondary guy who's also creator of offense. They got a point guard. They got guards who can handle the ball.
It's kind of like the Cavs again, except for this dude.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
It's kind of like going against Cleveland.
If they can let LeBron go off for like 40, 15, and 10 and win, it doesn't really matter what Giannis does.
That's really the key, right? Like you said, let Giannis have those big numbers.
Try to shut everybody else down.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you can't let Brook Lopez kill you.
Yeah.
Brook Lopez can't have a 29.
Well, that's that's the thing about that series is that
Toronto, let's shift over there.
Brook Lopez is busting Marc Gasol's ass. Like
Gasol just looks old, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, for sure. I think you have Golden State's coaching staff's going to know what to do in Milwaukee. I think that's going to be the key. And just like it really does come down in these series, it comes down to experience and coaching and the strategy. Yeah. And so I think you got a first-time head coach in Toronto, right?
Yeah.
It's probably showing it.
If they've been able to beat LeBron with a developed jumper, they probably will learn how to beat Giannis, who doesn't really have a consistent jumper yet. Because even LeBron in Cleveland was a decent shooter by then, and Giannis is some notches below that a shooter.
So say that happens. Golden State beats Milwaukee without Durant, or Durant plays maybe 1 or 2 games.
He has to leave, right?
More than likely. He's like, see, they don't need me, and I need to be.
But I love when we
didn't need him anyways.
I guess I love when we talk about this. Like this is still
they
like
could have ran it
up
back
in
with
the air.
Barnes.
Like this is like I said. Like we just Popper just said in his piece. Like all the talk of the combine is like, well, congratulations, Knicks. Like I don't know how you did it.
So then Kyrie's going to be the running mate.
I would rather Kawhi and figure it out later.
Get Kyrie out of here, man.
Thank you.
You don't want Kyrie
that
on the Lakers?
flat earther.
Yeah, no, I really,
God.
Honestly,
You take Kemba or Jimmy Butler as a second guy.
You're the Knicks, and you have Durant.
On the Lakers.
Oh, on the Lakers.
Yeah.
Oh, the Lakers?
Who would you got if the max contract can get somebody, regardless of who they don't trade for or AD or not? But if the max contract, you go for somebody with the max. Who do you go for? Jimmy. There's Kemba. There's Kyrie. There's Clay if you could swim away. There's that's about it as far as max level.
Between Kemba and Jimmy, I think I go Jimmy.
You go Jimmy?
I think I go Jimmy.
Their timeline is pretty much there. These are the next best years of Jimmy's career.
I think I go Jimmy. I love Kemba.
Jimmy's a gamer.
I love Kemba, but I think I go Jimmy.
6'5" two-way player versus 6'1" one-way player.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go with the size.
It just feels like Kyrie for the Knicks to me. It just doesn't it feel like that's a done deal?
You don't think Brooklyn is done? Maybe Brooklyn though. Maybe Brooklyn gets him.
I'm like excited.
It does feel.
No,
like
I know. No, I mean, I'm excited for the Laker rumors. I hope they're true.
Right, they patched it up. Come out here.
No,
God, don't come over here.
Because honestly, like if you say KD's in the bag for the Knicks, and I wouldn't mind Kyrie and AD. I wouldn't mind Kyrie and AD going to the Lakers if it means I don't have to take on Kyrie. Because that's 30.
The Lakers would be. They would be really good with that.
Yeah, I put them in the
More
finals.
power to them,
Bro.
Second best team.
LeBron, AD, and Kyrie. They definitely in the finals.
Okay, all right.
Right?
I just
They're
don't,
definitely
I
in
just
the
don't like
finals.
Kyrie, man.
I know you don't, but he's great when he's just worrying about scoring. And now with a guy like AD, who's a generational type of big man, defensively and offensively, like. That backline is good. They'll figure it out. Minimum guys. Melo can go to L.A. Whoever else they want to sign, they'll be fine, though.
What happened to Gordon Hayward?
broke his leg.
He's broke his leg.
Yeah, but
he needs a couple years.
Oh, okay.
Look at Paul George. He played better his first year back as well, but the timeline are different because he broke his leg in the summer. So he came back like the last 6 games. He played all right, then had the whole summer to work on his game, and then he came back and was an all-star again.
Right.
Hayward broke it opening night, so he pretty much had to go and wait to not start playing until the year. So this year he'll get a summer. He'll get an off-season.
I just love
I think he'll be fine.
Boston celebrated before.
Oh, yeah.
They celebrated Kyrie and
Exactly.
Gordon Hayward. They thought, like, oh, we went to the Eastern Conference Finals with Rozier, and now their whole shit is a mess. Everybody was talking about that. Oh, that Kings pick. We're going to trade that Kings pick for Anthony Davis.
Crumbled.
Yeah, no.
And that's what I love about Kyrie. I mean, to me, Kyrie Irving holds the key to the entire,
him and Kevin Durant,
right?
Yeah.
Completely. Because say Durant goes to the Knicks, then he's going to have his choice, right? Do I stay with Boston? How can he stay in Boston? The fans don't even want him there.
Yeah.
They don't want him. Laker fans are going to be you go to the
It changed
Lakers
so
or you go
fast,
to the
yo.
Knicks, right? So if that happens, though, whatever team picks up Kyrie, to me, will be the one forced to make the deal
Yeah.
with Davis, and that's what David Griffin is waiting for. He's waiting for knowing he'll be able to get everything he wants from the Lakers, everything he wants from the Knicks.
Because I got Zion
Because
in
they
my
got,
back pocket.
yeah, exactly. So
But also without, the fact that he can trade him anywhere, the only difference, look, David Griffin doesn't care who he trades it to. The only thing that matters is the team that's taking him. If Anthony Davis is not willing to sign a contract extension minimizes your return.
right.
But you don't know what team is going to, take a chance. There's been situations. So
I think Houston going to go for it.
that's
my
an
sleeper.
example. I don't know who Houston would give up.
Capella and all those picks.
But I don't know who you would give up, but that's an
Three-team
example.
trade.
That's an example that you don't see, right? We all think it's Knicks and Lakers, but it could also be some team that's just going to be like, you know what? We're going to take a 1-year deal. Maybe he like with Kawhi.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the Kawhi thing.
The Paul George thing. Who
Yeah,
the
I don't
fuck
know.
saw the Thunder getting Paul George? They went a year and Paul George going to LA, and then the Thunder
Fuck
just come
him,
out of
dog.
nowhere.
Yeah, I
God
don't
damn
know.
it, dog.
And all they traded was Sabonis, Oladipo.
Well, they both became.
Oladipo will be good. Oladipo will be back.
And Sabonis is almost an all-star this year. So.
Yeah.
I can't believe Paul George did that, man. You're not welcome to LA, man. Don't come back to LA.
It's all right, man. I think better days ahead for both the Knicks and Lakers. Maybe we get a finals appearance from.
He not even from LA. He from Palmdale.
So fuck Palmdale.
Yeah, fuck Palmdale.
I can see Boogie going to LA.
Yeah, Boogie will take. No,
I
I think he'll
was
stay.
just about to ask you, what do you think is gonna happen to Boogie?
I think he'll stay in Golden State. Just try to get his value.
Yeah,
just,
he has to
get his
because then
value
he
back.
get hurt. He got hurt again.
Yeah.
But they said he might come back for the finals though. They're saying because he didn't. It wasn't a tear. He kind of strained it.
Yeah.
If he comes, I think he'll need another year to prove himself, and then he won't get a max ever, but he'll get a good couple like $15 million deals.
Yeah, someone said that he might come back before Durant.
Yeah, we'll see. Fellas, thanks for coming through. Where can they follow you? You know what I'm saying? Just keep people posted on what you guys got going on.
Man, I'm laying low these days, but on Twitter, I'm Del Blago.
Del Blago. All right. How about you, Sean?
I'm LA Knicks 34.
LA Knicks 34.
I try to hide who I am, but LA Knicks 34.
It keeps pulling you back in. Tony, how about you? What you got?
Follow my comedy page, Comedian Bones. I changed the name.
Again?
No, it was Comedy Bones, then Comedian Bones.
You've elevated to the next level.
Yeah.
All right. This is
I was gonna put Comic Bones, right? But somebody had that, so I had to put Comedian.
fair enough. Fair enough.
So yeah, follow me there. I'll post the information from my show on the podcast story and on my page.
What day is that?
It is next Friday, the 24th.
Okay.
The 24th is Friday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, show begins at 8. It's called For Better or Verse. So the first half is like the poets,
And then
the
comedy.
artistic people, and then the second half is the comedy.
That's what's up. So make sure y'all follow Comedian Bones so y'all can get that information for the show. You guys can hit me up at Nick of Comedy, NICKOF Comedy on all things social, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for The Culture Live. Till next week. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.